Come on in. Alright, this is a project that I have wanted to do for a while, and very happy with it, how he turned out. This is one of those 11-inch King Kongs. They're in Walmart right now, they're in Target right now, they're right around 20 bucks. Weird hollow feet on that. I just wanted to kind of show those. So he has this weird weapon thing, and there I just used Moss Man to show that he's roughly twice the size of a Motu figure, so it's their 5.5. They're creeping towards 6 if they're standing straight up. So this is just me taking him apart. I wanted to take him apart so I could paint him a little cleaner, and I wasn't sure what I was doing with that thing on his arm, but it is yellow, and Gygor's already yellow, so I thought I could incorporate it some way, like some kind of a gauntlet weapon, which is what I ended up doing. So now he's all apart, and I just start dry brushing him with yellow. I am using P3 paint from Privateer Press is what I use mostly, and it's pretty dull yellow on that first pass. It really takes a couple passes to go over that black in order to get it to a brighter yellow. And here I am, I'm using some acetone to get the numbers and stuff off of that. It did not take off too much of the yellow, but I wanted to get those numbers off of there. That looked like a military stencil type thing. So all taken apart like this, I'm able to dry brush all of it at the same time, because I don't have to leave the back empty and set it on the back and then do the other side. I'm just able to get it all at once. Now see, look at that second coat. A second coat does so much to brighten those up. And I'm still figuring out exactly where my camera needs to be, and I don't have this on a monitor while I'm working, so sometimes I'm a little bit off frame. My apologies. So, funny note, green and black, oh no, yellow and black is how you make like an OD olive green. It's yellow and black. So with his very dark chest and stuff, and then you put the yellow over top of it, it actually looks a little bit like it's a military green, olive drab. That gets to be a much brighter green, but I did kind of like the look of that. I don't know why a yellow gorilla works. It shouldn't work, but it does work. I just really like it. He is such a striking figure. Like, you know, my favorite's Beastman. That's pretty obvious. But just, I think it might be the bright colors that I like so much that I'm drawn to. And him being bright yellow and bright green just hits a lot of notes that I like. And plus, he's a big, angry gorilla. So putting this guy back together was, I'm not there yet, but putting him together was a little bit harder than I thought it should be. Just figuring how to get everything back in. And I'm still, like, this whole process, I'm figuring out what I'm going to do with that arm, what kind of a gauntlet weapon. But I do know I don't want it yellow. So I'm going to black it out and then dry brush a metallic over it. I love that exposed gear on the elbow, like that's pretty cool. It just takes time to figure out what I'm painting what, and then go back and touch all of those things. I'm kind of already doing some of the detailing before I put it back together. But this is a big, chonky figure, but it's not like super heavy. I've got the McFarlane Clayface I'm going to do something with, and I bet that toy weighs 2 pounds. Like, that is a heavy toy, and he's not quite as tall as this guy. He's like maybe 9 inches. And I've given all the straps a basic black base, because Gygor has black and silver chrome metallic armor. So I can leave all these straps black, and it'll fit in with the rest of his black armor. But yeah, this guy's kind of cool. can't wait to see Godzilla X Kong, by the way. And I did buy one of these just to keep as it is because I really like King Kong quite a bit. Wolfman, King Kong, Beastman, those are my favorites. And this is me struggling for entirely too long to put this guy back together. I realized I was trying to put him in the wrong half, and then you have to put him in the front half. But yeah, look at how bright that is. Okay, so this is a black warbler that I'm just pre-shaping. What you can't see is I'm heating it with a heat gun. The heat gun is just out of frame. And then when it's warm and pliable, I'm putting in like a little crease in it in order to make it stronger, give it a little bit more strength, like they did with Maximilian armor. And when you heat the plastic up, it sticks to itself. This black warbler will just stick right to itself, so it's pretty easy to... now I'm just cutting belting strips because I know what I'm going to do. And it's important to me to get Mattel parts on this guy, so I'm incorporating a couple different shields and some weaponry into him that is Mattel. And I'm looking at Gygor's armor as a reference. I'm not going exact, but you know, I'm using that as a reference. The blade that's on there, I put on there, and then you see the shield, and this is me just shaping his shoulder armor. Are they still epaulettes? Maybe they're epaulettes. With just all these little pieces to make his armor look good and just make sense. His shield belt buckle is kind of weird and hanging low, but that's where I wanted to put it. So, and on the Gygor art and the figure from Classics, they do have like vambrace or gauntlet armor on each hand. So I only had to make the one because the other one already had that nice unit. And I think this is one of Teela's shields. And I just gave it a little bit of dry mold to flatten it out. And then that nice decorative Teela shield goes on there. That weapon now feels very like a pata, which is a weapon from India. I love those things. The bad general died for one. Mad Mardigan killed him with a pata. He stepped on it, flipped it up, and threw him down on it. I love Willow. It's one of my favorite movies. And I'm just building this helmet right on his head. The plastic will stick to itself. It'll stick to his head too, but it'll stick to itself better than it sticks to his head. So I'm just building it in place, and then I'll pop it off free, but it'll all stick together. And I think I show that. It's actually been a while since I finished this project. I'm just now getting around to editing the video. And this helmet has a little bit of a, not quite a samurai feel, but it's got those scales at the back, which I like. And again, I'm heating up off camera. And that's just a nice detail there that I can, yep, pop right off. But it's a whole helmet. So again, I finished this guy a while ago, and I added something to him at the end that did not come in until just recently. So I retook all of his pictures for the end of this. Really happy with how that helmet turned out. This is a weird angle, but this is just taking a look at Gygor now. He's got pretty much all armored. That shield came with one of the Skeletors. Might have been Terrorclaw's Skeletor. But it clips onto his arm. I dremeled that out and put that on him as his belt buckle. And the original Gygor doesn't have anything like that, but there's a 40K art of ogres. I think it's 40K. I think it's 40K art, or just Warhammer 40K. And all the ogres have these huge belt buckles, and I just thought that that would look really cool as a giant ogre-style belt buckle for him. And just going in and touching up the black, that contrast of black on yellow is so nice and bold. And now I have, this is a color called Pig Iron, which is, it's a metallic, but it's a darker metallic from P3. And that's what I chose to use on him for all of the pieces that look like steel or chrome or whatever they are. Probably not chrome. I don't think that Skeletor would chrome the armor of his giant war ape. And it's just, you know, it's touching things up. It's going through and hitting all the details. I'm not the most detail-oriented person. I forgot his ears. I do that to Beastman all the time, too. His ears are flesh, so they should be painted the same color as his skin. If his skin is green, then the ears ought to be green. And then I'm picking out the parts of the shield that I like, and then I'm picking out just the mechanical gears and things in order to make that arm piece stand out and make it make sense in a Motu world. I hope they're going to make it make sense in the Godzilla X Kong world. We'll see. Okay, now I'm coming in and total cheat there with the Sharpie on the eyes, but that is something that I do, and now I'm hitting the corners around the eye. I normally save those face details for last. I do that on most of my figures. It's like, once I put their eyes on, it's like they came to life, you know? And that contraption on my head is from Harbor Freight. That's where it is. You get that from Harbor Freight. And it has these lenses that pop down so you can see close for detail. So the black and silver on there, really nice. That's a fine Sharpie that I use to go in between the teeth. He's got a nice big head, so it's kind of easy. But I don't like there being one solid bar of white across his mouth. I want to see those spaces between the teeth. And something that Mark Taylor said, one of the illustrators who figured out the look of a lot of the line, he said that bad guys have spaces between their teeth, and good guys, it's all one white space. So I kind of take that to heart, and I always make each tooth a separate island of color, and they don't blend into the other one. All right, and now for that iris, going in with the blue. I think I tried the purple and I didn't like it, or it didn't show up, or whatever, but gotta love a big green-skinned, yellow, blue-eyed gorilla. Now he's got his helmet on, he's ready for business. This is just a little camera mess with. And let's get this boy to a photo shoot. He's got to be fancy. I have a great little backdrop that I use. But this is, it's nice to see, you know, the camera moving around him a little bit too. And this is Gygor. So this gives you a chance to look at some of the details of him and how he turned out. He is a big, angry gorilla. You can see his weapon, and then see his face. Okay, see that sword? That's Beastman's sword from the Mondo Beastman. Didn't make sense for Beastman, but it makes sense for Gygor. Thanks for watching. Y'all like and subscribe.